Yes, welcome to News2Gamers, and we are back from LA and an exciting week at E3, where some of the most awesome and exciting reveals and announcements in gaming history have taken place. There is so much news and updates, plus I've got hay fever and not doing too well, so let's get straight to it. On this episode of News2Gamers, we have some exciting news surrounding Dead Rising 4. Plus, we have our review for Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's awesome, and DICE has done a damn good job. We'll also be checking out what you can expect from Titanfall 2's campaign. And Resident Evil is back with a number 7 at the end, and trust me, it's creepy. We'll also be chatting to Leanne to see what her thoughts are on E3 and what you guys have been talking about has been the most talked about games of E3. But first, here's the lowdown. Right, we all saw the announcement of Dead Rising 4 at the Microsoft E3 press conference. Well, it's exciting news to learn that it's now an exclusive to Xbox One and Windows 10, but only for a year. Developer Capcom Vancouver tweeted, "You'll be able to play it first on Xbox One and Windows 10. Journalist Ryan Brown offered further clarification on Twitter, where he stated, Capcom rep says that Dead Rising 4 is a 1-year timed exclusive for MS, meaning Microsoft. This comes as a surprise since Dead Rising 3 remained exclusive to Xbox One and PC. Set in Willamette, Colorado, Dead Rising 4 returns the original game's protagonist Frank West to the fray, a photojournalist with a penchant for slaying zombies. You can now take selfies of Frank showing off his crazy holiday among the dead. Dead Rising 4 is due out for Xbox One and PC on December 6th. Exciting times. So, one of the most exciting announcements of E3 2016 was the return of Capcom's horror series Resident Evil. This time coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC and PlayStation VR, Resident Evil 7 looks and feels very unnerving, eerie, and it seems as though it's gone back to its very creepy ways. We managed to play the demo and it scared the living crap out of us, especially Leanne. Let's have a look at what you can expect from Resident Evil 7 when it releases January 24th. It's pretty eerie.
She's back.
And roadie. Go tell and roadie. Go tell and roadie that everybody's dead. I was raised in a deep dark hole, a prisoner with no parole. They locked me up and took my soul. I called to him and he will come. She'll run to him like he's the one. His arms outstretched, but when she's done, he'll be torn apart. Go tell and roadie. Go tell and roadie. Go tell and roadie. Tell and roadie. Go tell and roadie. Go
Bayonetta and Devil May Cry creator Hideki Kamiya wants to make a third Bayonetta title after he wraps up development on Scalebound. Kamiya also told Metro in an interview, "Of course we want to make 3, and why should it end at 2? When asked if he'd spoken to any publishers about this, Kamiya replied, "No, but I've spent a lot of time thinking in my head what that game would be. I've even got ideas for Okami 2 as well." Since directing Bayonetta, Kamiya has took some time away from the series to direct The Wonderful 101 and now Scalebound. What would you like to see from a third Bayonetta title, even, Okami 2 maybe? Let us know. Oh, Microsoft, is this an accident or have you done this on purpose? Microsoft has been handing out USB drives to press at E3 and mysteriously there's a folder named on there called Bulletstorm Remaster containing a handful of images. There are 3 screenshots and 1 hero image on the drive. Bulletstorm came out in 2011 and mixed things up with weighty shooting system combos and its ever-growing humour. Its developer is currently working on a brand new AAA shooter which will be released in 2017. Would you like to see a new Bulletstorm remaster? Because I know I would. One of the most glaring omissions from the Microsoft E3 press conference was Crackdown 3. We may now know why. The new game won't be released until next year, Regent Games creative director Dave Jones has announced. Crackdown 3's multiplayer component was expected to be out sometime in 2016, but Regent realised it couldn't deliver on the schedule it had previously set for itself. We'll now be waiting until 2017 for Crackdown 3, although it's unclear whether that will be the multiplayer component or the full game. Jones also confirmed that Crackdown 3 is coming to both Xbox and PC. Like many other announced titles, the Microsoft press conference, Crackdown 3 will be a Play Anywhere title, meaning if you buy a digital copy of the game on one platform, you'll be able to access it on the other. It's pretty exciting stuff though. For all the news, Crackdown 3, keep it with News2Gamers. Now, one announcement you may have missed during the excitement of E3 is the official reveal for the Telltale's awesome episodic series, The Walking Dead. Well, it's coming back for Season 3. Let's have a look at the teaser trailer that shows the return of a familiar face.
That one was Mark II. We must be getting close. Just hold on.
Yes, I can't wait for that series to start again, and we'll be covering each episode as it's released on News2Gamers. Right, Leanne has been a busy girl reading all of your tweets and comments on what you guys have been getting hyped about with all the new announcements coming in. She also has what games you guys and girls were talking about last week more than any other during E3. Trust me, you'll be really surprised at what came in last. Leanne?
Yes, we are all still in recovery after this year's explosive E3 conference. The whole event was amazing from start to finish. And all I know is that it's going to be a very expensive few years with the amazing technological advances we are expected to see with the likes of Xbox Scorpio, the VR systems, and the all-out badass new games being released. So let's get to it. First off, a complete mind blow of a trailer by the one and only Hideo Kojima. The trailer for Death Stranding starred a naked, crying Norman Reedus, a newborn baby, some crabs, loads of dead fish, and some mysterious handprints. Excitedly confused, I was hooked on this crazy but mysterious trailer. Whitebread tweets, the Death Stranding trailer felt like a window into the refreshed mind of Kojima. I'm sad Silent Hill is gone, but this'll do. Gabriel Montelondo, Norman Reedus with his Norman fetus. Death Stranding. Brian Marquez, here I am clapping for a horror game I'll be too scared to play. Now, if you have been watching our News2Gamers extra show, you would probably already know that I would have to do a segment on South Park, The Fractured Butthole. I am the ultimate fangirl right now. Dandakai, starting now, I am officially saving up the hashtag Fractured Butthole pre-order. Hell yeah, the first game was great. Trace Thurman, I feel so stupid. I just realised the pun in hashtag The Fractured Butthole. Really? It's kind of obvious. And this is my favourite by Anthony Diaz. Add me on Instagram. Now, I can see some superfan out there actually creating this, and Instagram will be a thing of the past. Now, Ubisoft ever so kindly gave us one incredibly badass new trailer for Watch Dogs 2. Andrew Matthews, Watch Dogs 2 looks like it might let me have some fun. Jeff back in action, super excited for Mr. Kawaii Face. Looks like a lot of fun, also parkour hacking looks fun too. Now, we had a pretty interesting poll conducted showing the most talked about games from E3 on Twitter. The results were not what I was expecting. So, in first place, we have Zelda Breath of Wind with a staggering 573,000 tweets. Battlefield 1 came second and scored a whopping 200,000, was that? Fifth place, God of War with 155,000. Now, number 8 was COD Infinite Warfare, 123,000 tweets. And lastly, my main man, Crash Bandicoot in 10th place with 100,000. Now, firstly, how does COD beat Crash? And shockingly, no mention of Death Stranding? Only a few of the biggest games we have seen at this year's E3. There is just so much to talk about, and how could you not want to join all this fun? Head over to our Twitter page at News2Gamers, give us a like on Facebook, and head over to our YouTube channel to get all the latest from News2Gamers. Now, stay tuned. After the break, we will have our review for Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and we shall also be taking a look at what you can expect from Titanfall 2's single-player campaign. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to News2Gamers. Still to come, we finally get around to sharing our review for Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and we take a quick look at what has been added into Titanfall 2's single-player campaign. But first, let's throw it back to 1986 now and find out what Alex has been up to.
I remember waking up one cold Christmas morning and opening up what was to be my first ever gaming console, the Sega Master System. I was naturally over the moon and fortunately too young to realise I'd been shortchanged as my older brother was given a Mega Drive on the same year. But, never an ingrate, I turned it on and I was greeted with Alex Kidd, a game which was actually built into most Sega Master Systems. I can't actually remember the other games I had, if any, and I'm not sure if it was so much the quality of the game itself or whether I was placed into a trance by the hypnotic music you can hear now, but I was hooked. The game itself involves collecting various gubbins, jumping around and punching monsters, swimming around and punching monsters, flying around and punching yet again more monsters, until you meet the bosses who you play rock, paper, scissors with to defeat instead. I'd have thought those monsters would be more worthy of a punch, but clearly not in Miracle World. Alex himself is a fairly forgettable character and certainly never iconic, but for a short while was considered the unofficial mascot of Sega. The game is 30 years old now, but if you can get a copy of it, it's still definitely worth a play. However, the cartridge version is now one of the rarest titles for the Master System out there, so it'll set you back a few quid if you're one of the few people with a Master System that doesn't have this game already built in. It's a fairly generic platformer though, if I'm honest, and the joy of replaying it is mostly for nostalgia, but the game is a true classic. Back over to you, Leanne.
Now, that game may have been out before I was born, but it's still a classic. Next up is our review for Mirror's Edge Catalyst, but first, a lot of you are getting excited to see what Titanfall 2 is going to be bringing to the table in its new single-player campaign when it launches this December. Well, here's a little look at what you can expect from EA and Respawn's robot shooter.
BT-7274. Your data recorder says your original pilot was killed in action.
Correct. My original pilot was KIA. I am now linked to Rifleman Jack Cooper.
Who authorized this?
We had no other options.
What are your protocols?
Protocol 1. Link to pilot. Protocol 2. Uphold the mission. Protocol 3. BT! Protect the pilot.
Stand by for Titanfall.
Trust me.
Doesn't look bad, does it? We'll see and find out a lot more on how it plays when it launches worldwide in December. Right, due to all the excitement and build-up to E3, we were unable to publish our full review for Mirror's Edge Catalyst, but don't worry, we're going to give you our thoughts on DICE's return to the franchise right now in our review. It's damn good, so here it is, the News2Gamers review for Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Set in a city of glass, which is visually stunning with a beautiful blue sky and a place that looks blissfully picturesque. You play as a younger and more naive Faith who is trying her best to bring down the villainous corporation who are driven by greed as well as unlocking the secrets of her own past. DICE has always excelled at captivating the player into the world of being a freerunner. This is where Mirror's Edge has always felt unique and fresh. It's a genre that isn't explored much. While we have seen some great parkour games, Mirror's Edge is the creme de la creme when it comes down to the innovation, immersion and feeling of sense of excitement when first free running across the rooftops and jumping random obstacles. Each slide, vault, jump and movement feels smooth and well transitioned and flows like water as you make your way across the city. You're rewarded for your fluid and continuous movement throughout glass. This comes in the form of the focus shield. With every successful manoeuvre comes extra protection to your health via the new focus shield. It builds as you traverse across the city, pulling together some impressive parkour moves. However, if you get shot by a Krugerseg Enforcer, your shield will reduce pretty quickly, but this won't affect your health. Only when you stop or miscalculate a landing will your shield then disappear. One thing that could have had slightly more improvement is the combat system, which isn't as strong as it could be. But on the flip side, you are never really pushed into fighting if you don't need to. Faith will never find herself wielding a gun, but there are several tricks up her sleeve that can become very effective during your adventure. There are a few light attacks which won't cause you to stop if you're trying to race past your attackers, they'll just knock them out of the way. The majority of the damage you will inflict obviously comes from heavy attacks. These can be really effective as when you mix them together with your free running skills, it can make for some interesting results. You'll find that in the main story you'll be forced to fight against large groups of enemies, so trying various techniques like wall running before landing a devastating kick will do a lot more damage than just a standard kick from a stationary position. As you advance through the story, new traits are unlocked like the ability to quick turn and a grappling hook that attaches to certain fixed points throughout the open world to help guide you and swing across large gaps. The inclusion of the grappling hook in particular is a really cool addition that changes the flow of cruising through the city without making it notably easy to get everywhere. You can also increase how much damage you do in combat, and you can even add extra bars to your health gauge via XP. Each upgrade adds slight changes to Faith's skills and help make a tremendous runner. Despite these catalyst problems lie in how easy it can be to die instantaneously, which can occasionally be down to poor decision making, but can sometimes be down to confusing visual language. This is a game that is built around player assists, of course keeping the player moving, but when it comes to a particular challenge, the smallest miscalculation of a jump will be strictly punished. Mirror's Edge Catalyst gives you plenty to do outside of the main story, including side missions, dashes and deliveries. Serving as a prequel to Mirror's Edge, Catalyst looks to fill in the blanks of the story and evolves Faith character. However, the plot twists are so predictable that you'll see what's coming a mile off, even if you've never played the original. Then there are the emotionless characters who are incredibly dull and lacking in personality, that you'd find it difficult to pick one out of a lineup. Here's the verdict. Despite a few flaws, Mirror's Edge Catalyst is addictive. It's a solid game with fast-paced mechanics that can give you as many thrills as it can chills. Visually stunning with a huge open world to explore with plenty to do, you won't get bored easily. It's certainly worth playing and experiencing a Mirror's Edge title on our current generation of consoles. DICE have made a fantastic game, and I hope I won't have to wait another 8 years for the next one.
Wow, that looked pretty awesome.
It was
Definitely
great.
worth the 8 out of 10.
It
And
was.
you know, I'm getting pretty scared of my games list. It's getting quite big.
It's getting bigger and bigger, especially all the new announcements anyway.
I know, it's brilliant.
Right, make sure you tune in on Saturday from 10:30 p.m. where we've got another episode of News2Gamers Extra. It's pretty exciting stuff, got lots going on. You're
Brilliant.
on it
Again. And don't forget to check us out on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. But no, I think that's it now.
That's it, isn't it?
Yep.
We should go.
We should go.
We should go. Tune in on Saturday, we'll be back then. Did you forget?
Forget what?
Say it.
Say what?
Keep it locked.
Keep it locked.